Okay. Um, just making a quick video. Don't know how long it's gonna last. Just want to talk a little bit. Watching a video by Gary V, where he said that you're one piece of content away from everything changing. So with that being said, this is the last day of 2018. It's New Year's Eve, and 2019 will be here before we know it. So my focus going into 2019 and throughout 2019 is to start posting consistent content and um, just to be consistent and let the content speak for itself. Now, what I want to do is talk a little bit about how 2018 changed, my life. I was denied um, uh, my hearing about my son was denied. The state of Florida denied uh, my. They didn't deny me a hearing. They had the hearing without me. They said that they sent me something in the mail where they rescheduled the hearing. I didn't receive anything in the mail. I didn't receive anything via email. But I guess my son's mom did, and she showed up to court, and they threw my case out pretty much. All I want to do is be there for my son, be a father to my son. I didn't have a father growing up. I had fathered by committee. The closest thing to a father that I've ever known was my uncle and my great uncle. He was like my father, but my biological father, I never knew him. I haven't met him. Don't know anything really about him. But my son knows who I am, and I just want to be influential in his upbringing. I want to be able to instill some of my principles into him and prepare him for the world and get him ready to be a man. My son is 10 years old. He'll be 11 in February. And time is, passing me by. And I feel a real sense of urgency that something has to change in my life. And I don't know, how I'm going to bring about that change. I do know that I feel that I have to get an attorney to represent me and get my rights established as a father. Now, I'm not a deadbeat dad. I love my son deeply. I am behind on my child support, and that's my fault. That's nobody's fault but mine. I take ownership in that. I have to do better. And in 2019, that is the goal. I'm going to do better. But I'm also going to get an attorney, because when I filed the paperwork, I live in Ohio. My son lives in Florida. And I actually grabbed the wrong set of forms. I didn't know that. An attorney ended up telling me at a later date that I filed the wrong paperwork. But they ended up scheduling a hearing anyway. And I requested to attend the hearing via the telephone. And the magistrate denied my request. And they requested me to show up in Florida or get my case thrown out. And being in the financial situation that I am, I was unable to do that, but I felt like God, God was looking out because um, they rescheduled the original hearing due to the fact that there was a hurricane uh, approaching Florida at that time. So court for that whole week was canceled. They said that they would notify me about the rescheduling, and I never got the notification. Um, I want to apologize to my son, you know, because he doesn't understand what's going on. You know, it's a tough situation when, you know, one parent, mostly the mothers in the United States, are empowered. And, you know, in a lot of ways, that's the right thing to do. But in my situation, you know, I actually had my custody of my son for 6 months. My son's mom actually didn't have him for almost a full year because she had pleaded guilty or no contest to child abuse or neglect. Um, you know, my son, I don't believe he was being taken care of properly. Um, the state didn't think so either because they had actually taken him away, and that's how I ended up getting him. I had to go down to Florida and get my son. I brought him to Ohio and got him in school, and we were doing fantastic. I was on the PTA. All the parents loved me. The teachers loved me. Doing a fantastic job. But his mom had a case plan where she had to do anger management and parenting classes and stuff like that. And they promised her that when she completed that she would get him back, and they made good on that promise. I fought like hell. You know, I spent a lot of my a lot of money on an attorney, and I still lost. The judge required me to return my son anyway. Actually, I was enrolled in college at the time, and pretty much a whole semester of financial aid went towards a lawyer, and I lost. You know, that hurt pretty bad. Really haven't physically seen my son since I returned him to Florida, and that was a few years ago. Yeah, you know, it hurts. You know, it makes it hard to sleep at night, knowing that my son needs me, and you know, I cannot lie and say that I don't feel desperate at times. A lot of times, you know, because I just want to be there for my son. You know, all I want to do is have him every summer and alternating holidays. I don't think that's a unusual request. You know, there are deadbeat dads out there that don't want anything to do with the children, but I'm not one of them. I really want to be there for my son, and I gotta do better. So that's 2019. That's the main plan, is to uh, get that established to where I start getting my son in the summers and alternating holidays. In the parenting plan that I did propose, I offered to pay for everything, uh, getting my son to Ohio and getting him back to Florida. You know, even though I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's going to get done. You know, you gotta believe, you gotta have faith, and I am a person of strong faith. So I believe that my son, I will have my son in the summer of 2019, and that's because I'm going to work hard and I'm going to make that happen. I have a lot of business goals for 2019. I want to meet with all kinds of entrepreneurs, all kinds, uh, people of business, whether it's a barber, a rapper, somebody who bakes cupcakes, restaurants, salons, you know, people who have a lawn service, that's my goal in 2019, is to meet up with these different entrepreneurs and pick their brain and see what makes them different, what makes them special, and what um, motivates them. That's a big goal goal of mine, and want to make sure that that happens. I gotta stretch my legs for a second. Yeah, just sitting here, uh, you gotta get the blood flowing a little bit. But that's my goal, and I feel like if I do what I'm supposed to do, everything else will fall into place. So I do want to let you know to be on the lookout for consistent content coming from me. Um, Make sure to subscribe to my channel. There's going to be some links in the description to some of my different websites. Take a look at them and contact me via inbox or get my email address or my phone number from one of the websites. If you happen to choose to call me, make sure that you leave a message just in case I don't answer the phone. If I don't know who's calling, then you won't get a return phone call. And I would like to return everybody's call who's serious, who has a serious reason to get in contact with me. All right. I want to thank you for your time today. I want to wish you the best going into 2019, and I wish that that you're really blessed and your blessings overflow going into this year. That you start off fast, that you maintain the momentum, and that you finish strong. We're going to do some big things in 2019. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it to your other social media platforms. All right, it's your boy Trail.